what? With an indoor what, Cindy? Hey everybody, Luxinda Swirl here. Welcome back to my Paper and Other Obsessions channel. Today we will not be working with paper. This will be one of the other obsessions. This is a resin product. It is not epoxy resin. This is an eco-friendly resin that comes in two parts, a powder and a liquid. If you are at all familiar from watching YouTube videos, hearing and seeing people talk about Jesmonite, that is a specific brand name, a trademark brand name, and it has been a little hard to get over here in the US. I believe it is a European-based company, and it's also available in Canada, but US has been limited until recently. There is a US supplier now. I will link to all of the Jesmonite resources I have below. It can be pricey. There is another version. This is not the brand Jesmonite. This is virtually the same thing, but it is sold by one of my favorite companies. This is the Zuri company. This is the company that sells all those incredible silicone molds that I love so much. They're very intricate, beautiful molds. They also have some corresponding stamps to go with those molds. And they have some other products, and one of them is this eco-friendly resin. By eco-friendly, you do not have to wear a respirator. This does not put off fumes at all. You are mixing this liquid with this powder. If you wanted to wear protective equipment at all, well, gloves definitely, because you'll make a mess, and clothes that you don't care too much about. But otherwise, you could wear some sort of face mask that protects you from possibly the powder. It's a very fine powder. So that would be something to consider. The interesting thing about the Zuri product is it comes in specific colors. You can also buy white. You can also buy sort of a neutrally natural looking off-white and add your own colorants to those. One colorant that works really well is the Cast and Craft opaque pigments. You can also use mica powder. In the case of these three that I have already, I opted to go with their colored versions, meaning that they've already added colorant to the three different liquids. The powder's the same for each one of these. Mixing these together will give you a black material, purple and gold. I am also going to use this to show you what I hope will be a nicely marbled product or a swirly product when we're done. So here's the plan. Put that out of the way for a minute. We will need the scale. It does happen by weight measurement, by grams. And I did some math, which is really hard for me these days. Harder than ever. I was actually pretty good at math in high school. You'd never know it now. I think in order to fill one of these cute little hexagon planter pots that we will need 150 grams mixed of our material. That means 100 grams of the powder and 50 grams of the liquid because it's a 2-part to 1-part ratio. So try and get a number that you can divide by 3. Makes it easier that way. I have what we're going to use, 3 of these little pots. These are from Amazon, and I have sprayed them with a little bit of mold release just to make it easier to get the finished product out. I'm also using some of my favorite Super Sparkle Light Gold Mica Powder from Crafter's Choice. This is sold by WholesaleSuppliesPlus.com. And I'm going to start mixing and pouring. You mix for about a minute, and then you have to pour pretty quickly because it starts to set up very, very quickly. We are going to do 1 pot at a time. I'm going to start by taking a fluffy makeup brush and brushing this gorgeous Super Sparkle mica into the mold all the way around. Okay, should be good. I have it set for grams, and I'm going to put a cup down and tear it out so we're not measuring the cup. So now it's set for 0. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I know the light gives off a glare here. I will try and zoom in while I'm editing so you can at least see what I'm doing, but I should be aiming for 100 grams of the powder. That's what we're starting with. Ooh. 101 is fine. Pretty sure that's okay. Okay, I'm going to tear that out, and then I'm going to pour in hopefully around 50 grams. It does have a nice squeeze top. It helps prevent overpouring. And I want 50 of this. Okay, I now have a minute to mix, and then I need to pour. So bring you over here, bring this back into frame. You'll notice I just realized I am not wearing gloves after telling you you should. we'll see how this goes. As with regular resin and anything else you're mixing, honestly, you want to scrape the sides and the bottom and make sure you're getting everything combined. You don't want to be left with extra powder stuck to the bottom because that won't work very well. Okay. Here we go. See how my measuring did. Here and do a little squidgy widgy, as Steve McDonald would say. Try and get the bubbles out. Look at that. My measurement was really good. There's barely anything left in the cup. Yay me. Let's see if we can plot it down here. See all the bubbles coming up? I can carefully do this without making too big of a mess. And move on to the second one. Now this is the one I want to use the cast and craft in, and the best color I have to show this off would be the gold. Want to do this all over again. Okay, that's ready to go. And now my cast and craft idea, we'll see how this goes, is to just put some blue in here. It will, I thought it would sink, but it's not going to. So what I'm going to do is very gently do what we would call an in the pot swirl. I don't want to mix it in. I want to leave it like that. And here we go. All right, so for this last one, I want to do 2, and I want to do half. 50 and 25 2 times. This is the 50 because it's the 2-part version. And we're going to do what in the paint pouring community is called a kiss pour. If I can do this well, if I can do this correctly. We basically touch the streams together and they go in at the same time. That's the idea. It gets a little tricky towards the end because they don't really want to kiss anymore. We're kind of sick of each other at this point. So I'm going to go with side to side. Okay, couple things while I leave these to set up. I will be taking a 2-week break on this channel. So I will see you back here for another video on August 26th. And the other thing I wanted to say is if you want to see any other similar videos using Jesmonite, I will link to both Anthony Craman's Jesmonite video where he basically does the same 3 planter pots, and same with Claire over at Claire's Crafty Corner. So I'll put those links below. There are ideas for different ways to color it and mix it and pour it and all of that. And I will meet you back here when these have hardened up to the point where we can take them out of the mold. So stay tuned. Okay, we're back. It's been about 3 hours. These are completely hard to the touch. Actually, they were feeling pretty hard to the touch after an hour, but they were still quite warm because, like epoxy resin, it's an exothermic reaction. So I decided to leave them a little bit longer. So now let us demold them. This was my kiss pour, sort of. Ooh, I like that. I can see a better color combination than mustard yellow and purple. I think the purple and black probably would have looked nice, but it would have been very dark. So that's why I went with this one. Obviously, if you were to get this product from Zuri, or if you were to get Jesmonite and you wanted to use your own colors and things, as we discussed, you can just get the white version or the neutral uncolored version and mix your own colorants in which case I would have done 2 other colors probably. And same here, I would have done probably the blue cast and craft, but I would have done it with a white version of the resin product, just so it looked really striking. Let's see how this one turned out. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful, but if this were white, I think this would just be very, very pretty. I love it though. And then our black with the gold mica brushed on. The nice thing about the flashing is it really just, I mean, it's pretty easy to get off with epoxy resin as well, but that takes a little bit more work sometimes. This just crumbles right off. I love it. Ooh, looking good. Got us a bubble down there. I did really well on these two. I think maybe the mica caused a little bit of a bubble issue, or I just didn't squidgy-widgy well enough. Also a possibility. But the flash pops right off. Then you could easily sand the edge down. These don't have that problem because I poured them better. This one I over poured. But look how pretty that is. The gold against the black. I love it. Unfortunately, I have rain today. So if I can get an outdoor shot of these three in the sunshine before I have to finish the video and upload it for you guys to see, I will do that. If I can't get sunshine, I will try and get a nicer indoor shot for our final shot of the three pots. Stay safe, everyone. I will see you on the 26th of August.